Hey, it's Clint again, back with another video. I'm going to show you how to use Foundry Virtual Tabletop and zrok together. So let's hop right in. I've logged in, and so you can see I have the Sky Isles, a world that I used to install World and installed. And let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like first when I join as the Game Master and try to enable audio and video. So this is all normal stuff. You come to the settings screen, you click on Configure Settings, click on your Configure Audio and Video, and you get the sad little red message that says you can't save your changes because you're not using TLS or SSL certificates. Well, that's a bummer. So let's go ahead and log out, and we'll see how we can actually do all of this with zrok and with Foundry together. So if we come out to Brave and you come to this GitHub repository, Foundry VTT zrok Bootstrapper, I'll put the link in the description. You'll see this little page will show you everything you need to do in order to use zrok. I'll have a little YouTube video, in fact this video linked here, you can rewatch it. We do have some prerequisites before you can use zrok. You'll need to download and run Foundry VTT, obviously. You'll need to download and install zrok, and if you haven't followed this video, just follow this video. It makes it so much easier. But if you don't want to do that, then you have a couple extra steps that you have to figure out. On the VTT server, in fact, I'm going to change over now. Instead of a scene mode, we're going to see the whole screen, or at least a bunch of the screen. We'll see it all. Oops, not over here. We'll see a bunch of it all together. So you can see my Foundry server runs in the background. I have a PowerShell prompt, and I have a browser window. Let's make the browser window back again. So it says use a public VTT. It's really that easy, and it is the easiest way to do it. This would be what I would recommend for most people, because when you do this, you'll get a bespoke URL just for you and your friends that is very difficult to guess, is not scannable by port scanning, and does not require you to forward ports through your firewall. If we take a look at a regular setup for Foundry VTT, your firewall will have to have, or your router will have to have a port that's open to the internet, and that scares a lot of people. Some people don't even have a static port, and so, or sorry, static IP address, and so they have to figure out how dynamic DNS works and get that to work, and then they have to expose the port. Well, with zrok, you don't have to do any of that, and that's why we'll use zrok itself, which is a free network as a service out there on the internet. You can just go sign up and use it. You can see there are ports still with a public server. Only the ports have been moved out of your firewall and into zrok's firewall, basically. So you'll run zrok on your Foundry server, and then your friends will just connect through the zrok public proxy into your house. You won't have to forward a port. You won't have to have a static IP address. You can move, you can pick your laptop up and go to your friend's house. It's really that easy. And this is the public method that we'll use. The private method is very similar, but the only difference is that your friends all have to have zrok installed too, and then there are literally no open ports except for on this Foundry server over here. And that's also an option. I'm not going to record this video because I think it's probably going to be the one that the fewest people use, but if there's a demand for it, then I'll record a video that shows you how to use zrok on all the sides. And for now, we'll go back and we'll just stay with the public VTT. You can also read the instructions for a private VTT down here. So let's do the public VTT to keep it short, and let's go ahead and get this going. First thing I got to do is download that start server script. So I'll save link as, and you see I've already downloaded it before. I put it into temp zrok Foundry VTT. You can put it wherever you want, and I'll overwrite that file. And then if zrok isn't on your path, you need to know where your zrok is. But for me, zrok is on my path. If I type zrok, it's right there. And so I can just copy and paste this command, and it'll go through and it'll do some automation. It'll automate making a reserved share in zrok, and it will share that for you. So let's go ahead and run this. You can see it found that you've already run it before, so it's releasing the share, and then it's reserving the share, and then it's making a public share. Now, this is public. The world can get here. However, you need to know this special URL. If you don't know the special URL, then you can't get here. This is not scannable by port scanners because it needs to come in as a request to this particular address. And since it's being run by zrok, you can see it already has HTTPS enabled. And if you remember the little setup from before, the lead, when I tried to use audio video and I couldn't, well, we'll see that we can do that now because we have TLS enabled. If you get the zrok not found, it's because it just started. It does take a second, and hopefully by the time this video comes out, we'll have fixed this little delay. But if it doesn't come up the first time, just hit refresh and it'll come up here in a second. It does take like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds maybe before the proxy is all proxying, and you can see that it's should be ready to go. And there we go. Now we're logged in to our server again. So I can come into my Sky Isles. I can go over to configuration and I can configure settings. This time when I go to configure audio and video, you can see I can choose things. I can choose which device. In this case, I will use my, let's see, video capture device. It doesn't show it. I want to use the one that I know of. I think that I need to enable it first. So let's go ahead and enable audio enabled. Now let's go to devices. It's not showing me. Oh, we'll go ahead. Oh, I haven't saved my changes yet. Let's go ahead and save the changes and reload the server. And now, aha, there you go. Now you'll see it's asking if I can use the camera and if I can use the microphone. You can choose until I close the site. You can choose forever. You can choose whatever you want. Obviously, this is up to you. I'll choose until I close the site, and I'll click Allow. Once I've done that, I'll come back over to my settings, configure audio, video, devices. Facecam Pro. It does find my devices. It does find my microphone, save my changes. Cool. So it did find all those things. And so now if I come over to enable your video, hey, I have video. Look at that. Oh, my camera is goofed up. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, there we go. And then I can enable my audio and things are great. So you might ask, usually I'll click this little button and invite my friends. And I don't mind showing you, look at this. Your connection appears to be closed. Well, it's actually not closed. It's being shared by zrok. So if I don't mind showing you my public IP address, no harm in knowing somebody's IP address. I have all my firewall holes are blocked, ports are blocked. So you can scan my IP all you want. But you don't give your friends this URL. You give them this URL. And so I'll open up, let's go to Chrome, I guess. I'll open up a Chrome window. And not over here. Keep doing that. I'm sorry for that. Over here, I'll go to the same URL, but I'll do it in Chrome. And because I have to do it in Chrome, now you can see I can join as the Peacekeeper. And we'll put in his super secure password. And when this happens, now you'll see the Game Master over here, and the Game Master's video should show up. Not exactly sure why it's not showing up, but it should show up. Hey, there we go. Now I have two cameras going. So this proves I have two different users, two different browsers, two different views. You can see my bunk beds over here. And that's really all there is to it. That is a public zrok share of a Foundry VTT server. And now I have actually played with the audio. The audio does work too. The video works fine for me. I don't know if it's stuttering for you, but you know, there might be hiccups here and there, but I mean, what are you going to ask for free? And that's really all there is to it. That is how you would do it with a public zrok share. Again, nobody knows where your URL is. You have to know the special URL. If just to prove to you that this is all going through zrok, if I come over to the PowerShell script and I Control-C and I stop this, you'll see I lose access to my Foundry setup. And where's the Chrome guy? So there's one. There you go. And now everybody's been disconnected. And it couldn't be more simple than that. Hopefully this video is useful. Hopefully it's not too long. If you're interested in seeing a private zrok, not a public one, let me know. It's a bit more involved because you will have to do TLS in order to get that audio visual to work. But yeah, hopefully that's good enough. Don't forget to go to the projects. I don't care if you like and subscribe my video, but go to the projects, github.com/openzd/zd. And if you have a GitHub login, go ahead and give it a star, and then go over to the zrok repo and give it a star too. It'll help me out. It'll help the project out. And, you know, that's the least we can ask for. All right. Hope that helps. Bye.